basic minimum characteristics of the big data. Though there are many other characteristics are there, but these three are considered to be the minimum characteristics, number of characteristics of the big data: volume, variety, and velocity. Okay. Now we have also seen few advantages of the big data. Okay. So today we will just extend the process of introduction to the big data. We'll see some other aspects of the big data also. Okay. So in this regard, I will just cover a famous data scientist that is Adam Bellum. His presentation we'll use over here. Okay. We have seen and we will see the big data in the context of data analytics. Okay. So till now we know like what is big data, but now we will see what is big data in the context of data analytics. Okay. So as I have given you, there are many definitions of the big data is there. What is big data? What is the tools? And these are also given over here. So I am leaving it to for all of you to learn these things. But what we will cover is basically where big data comes from. Okay, this is quite interesting thing. Where big data comes from. Big data is not specific application type. Remember, there is no such application like this is the big data application. Nothing like that. But rather a trend. It's basically what? A trend or the human practice we can say, or even a collection of trends mapping multiple application types. So whenever we will talk about big data, remember one thing, there is no specific applications which generates big data or generates the data. There are a lot of interrelated applications where the data comes from a variety of sources across the globe on the internet. Okay. So now data is growing in multiple ways. That is on the more data, more types of data, faster, largest of the data. Okay. More accessibility of data, data growth and availability exceeds organizations' ability to make intelligent decision based on it. Now, why big data analytics is required? I'll just show you. Almost all of you are using the Gmail account, right? Almost all are using Gmail account. Now, since your childhood, but when the Gmail has evolved around in the year of like say suppose 2005, 6 or you can say 2007 or 8. During that time, if anybody of you have remembered from your like the parents or from your elder brothers, like during the time of 2007 or 8, when the Gmail evolves, that time the mailbox is used to be opened very quickly. Have you ever noticed? But nowadays, you see, whenever you will open Gmail, okay, it takes a significant amount of time to open the Gmail inbox. Have you ever noticed this thing? Why? Because the volume of data is increasing day by day, and as compared to the processing speed of the Gmail server, the volume of data is increasing very faster way. Okay. Now next thing is that Gmail in most cases, whenever you will use the Edge browser or the Firefox, Gmail will suggest you like Gmail will open much more faster in the Google Chrome than use the Chrome. Then what you used to do, you download the Chrome, open the Gmail over there. Somehow the Gmail will open. But try to download an attachment in Gmail. Have you ever noticed that thing? How quickly it gets downloaded? First thing, at the first attempt, you have noticed like there is a failure of the download. Gmail attachments. And in the second or third attempts, it gets opened. Right? Why this is happening? Is this because there is an error in the application? No, there is no such errors. It is happening because see, in the data stream, they are storing data in terms of bytes, not in terms of the physical files. They are storing the physical files in terms of the bytes. So during the download process, they are converting that bytes to the physical copy or the file. Then you are able to download that file, right? So during that conversion process from the raw bytes to the physical file, it takes some amount of time, and the Gmail server still not equipped to handle such kind of processing speed or the volume of data, because the server is being shared by unlimited users across the globe, isn't it? So when the server's resource is being shared across unlimited users across the globe, so therefore the performance of the system is hampering day by day. And Gmail or the Google also using various ways, pros and cons, various ways to handle such kind of glitches. Okay, so that is the ways. There are different ways to handle the such kind of big data. And not only this, it is not only limited to the Gmail server. Recently, there is a news. If you have the smartphone right now, you can search it right now. Like the finance ministry, the government of India has issued a strict warning to the Infosys. The reason, what is the reason behind the income tax website has been is not opening properly and showing some kind of glitches. Now you see the volume of income tax data or the people's income data which has been fed into the system, and if we'll compare that with the processing speed of the income tax server, there is a huge 110 differences. Like if the volume of data which is injected to the income tax server, if it is the 90%, and whereas the processing speed of the server is hardly 10%. So day by day, the big data is posing a lot of challenges, and there are a lot of new techniques or the smart techniques has been developed to handle or to counter the volume of big data. Okay. Now, remember one thing, big data is always a scale out solutions, not scale up solutions. What is scale out? You have a huge volume of data, you will segregate the data, and you will fetch those data which interest your decision making process, not the scale of the process. Okay, not to increase the volume of the data further. You have existing data. Okay, then you will partition the data. You see that there is a scale up process, the big box is there, then these are partitioned into small blocks, and you will process individual blocks. Okay. You see, this is one interesting definition of the big data. Big in big data refers to the big size is primary definition. Size of the data is big, but at the same time, big complexity rather than the big volume. Okay, you see this line. It can be small, and not all large data sets are big data. So now if you have a 1 terabytes of data, it doesn't mean that is a big data. It's not necessarily. But yes, if you have 100 MB of data and it is of so complex, huge complex to process, then in that case you can say that is a big or you can say that is a big data. So for example, say suppose, look at this file. So suppose if this is the data, of some 3 columns and some 10-15 rows. Okay, so I cannot say this is big data, because, or maybe say suppose like something like this, many more rows are there, and as a result its size increased to say suppose 1 MB. It is not necessarily this is the big data, but this can be the big data. You see, this is the big data having a lot of columns. So whenever a data is having a lot of attributes, it takes a significant it demands, you can say it demands a smart way to handle such kind of huge dimensions. Number of rows you can process sequentially, okay, one by one rows, but it is very difficult to process the number of columns sequentially. So remember, a data set having multiple columns, more columns, is more complex than that of a data set or a database having lower number of columns but huge number of rows. Remember this thing. So this is what it said, like big data is basically what it is, the complexity. It has the huge complexity rather than the volume. It can be small, and not all large data sets are big data. Okay, size matters always, but so does accessibility, interoperability, and reusability. Okay, so if the data set size is huge, you cannot say like this is big data. Say for example, if I am having a data set or a data set of having 1 trillion rows or 1 trillion student across the globe, but having the field name, registration number and address, can I say it is a big data? No, I cannot say it is a big data. But yes, I have having few thousands of rows of thousands of students data where I am storing name, address, telephone number, as well as the locality, as well as the country, state information, as well as the marks. Okay, as well as I am storing his admission details, as well as the past transaction with the institution, everything, all kind of data if I am storing. So then in that case, I can say that database is a complex database or a big data. As well as I am storing the student's photograph. Okay, and students of blog or students of post, whatever the post students are given over there, I'm storing that also, then I can say that is the big data. Okay, so only the size does not matter. Along with the size along with the size of the data, it should be accessible easily, it should be interoperable, and it should have reusability. Then if not these features are with big data, then it requires an analytics, it requires an approach to analyze such data. So as I said, these are the 3 B's of the big data, like volume, velocity and variety. Okay. So in the volume of data, always we use the technique what? Aggregation. Okay. So look at the one interesting statistics were given over here. In 2010, we crossed the 1 zettabyte of markers. Okay. In 2010, but right now it is 2021. You just imagine how much volume of data has been fed into the internet. Okay. Look at this. What is variety? The variety characteristics of big data is really about trying to capture all. Look at this highlighted point. Capture all of the data that pertains to our decision making process. Look at this. What it is trying to say? So whenever we are talking about variety, it means you are capturing all data that helps in decision making. It is not necessarily like you will capture all data, even those who are not required for the decision making. That is not the characteristics of the big data. So big data is basically what? To capture all those data which is related to our decision making. Okay. Then next, the types of data. So whenever we will say about types of data that we are handling for the big data application, so it can be relational data like the tables, transactions, or legacy data. So any data which we are storing in the rows and columns like your Excel file, Access file, SQL Server file, your Oracle file. So all these are basically the what? Relational data. Okay. So data which is stored in this Excel format in rows and columns, this is basically what? The relational data. Okay. Apart from this, we can also have the text data. Text data. So what is text data basically? There are certain kind of data which needs analysis, special kind of analysis to have proper decision making. Say for example, you want to start a business. You want to start a business. So for that, what you used to do? नॉर्मली क्या करोगे? तुमको एक बिजनेस मान लो स्टार्ट करना है तुम्हारा लोकेलिटी पे, इन योर लोकेलिटी. सो व्हाट यू यूज्ड टू डू फॉर दैट, और व्हाट यू विल डू फॉर दैट? फॉर दैट व्हाट यू विल डू? बेसिकली यू विल डू वन मार्केट सर्वे कि लाइक व्हाट आर द टाइप्स ऑफ प्रोडक्ट्स इट हैज हैविंग डिमांडेड. ओके. So for example, just before the lockdown, just imagine, just before the lockdown, okay, just before the lockdown process. So when someone is talking about home delivery, So people used to think is like home delivery system. It is a waste of time, money, and everything. कौन घर में ऑर्डर करके खाएगा खाना? खाना कोई घर में ऑर्डर नहीं करेगा. या सामान कौन घर में? मैं एक ग्रोसरी स्टोर खोलूंगा. आई विल बिग ओपन वन मार्ट. आई विल ओपन वन बिग डिपार्टमेंटल स्टोर. बट ये होम डिलीवरी सिस्टम नहीं रखेंगे. इसका कोई फायदा नहीं है. बट नाउ सी everything requires the demands what? The home delivery. But who is a wise seller? Who is a wise businessman? Those who have done the market study at that time. Suppose home delivery is not required, but they are constantly monitoring the suppose social market sites or social social networking sites. Facebook में बार बार देखा, LinkedIn में बार बार आया कि like so for example we need one this thing we are having department store discussion चल रहा है, बहुत सारे users के बीच discussion चल रहा है in the social networking sites. Now he is reading different comments. कोई एक नया product launch हुआ हो तो उसका comments को पढ़ रहा है कि somewhere it is written many times frequently it is written is like product तो अच्छा है but home delivery होने से और भी अच्छा होता. It will be good if someone will have some kind of home delivery system. People are given this kind of comments. By reading those comments, immediately the businessman has identified, the smart businessman has identified, okay, so I am also going to open a departmental store. So at first, as the lockdown process has been started, I will definitely must have one home delivery system. Okay. Now that person will definitely will earn in lakhs, isn't it? Because he has taken a smart decision. How he is able to take a smart decision? Just by observing the data. Okay, but now increase this decision making process just for instead of the home delivery system, increase this decision making process to a large prospect. So for example, if you want to take a decision making like people need the home delivery, now out of these people, what kind of items people need home delivery? Does the people need medicines for the home delivery? Does people need grocery for the home delivery? Okay, so now if people needs, now how much quantity they want in every weekly? Now when the pandemic is increasing, does the volume of the consumption is get increased? So those kind of decision making process, it is not possible for a single human being to think or analyze in his or her brain. So it needs specialized analytical algorithms which will give a proper decision making result to the users. Are you all getting my point? So for that, what we need? We need big data analytics. So and that will come in the forms of what? Text data. So now if you will only want to process the number data, you will not get much result. So you should be able to, your data mining algorithm, your analytics algorithm should be able to process relational data, should be able to process text data, should be able to process semi-structured data, okay, or should be able to process what? Graph data. Okay, and streaming data also. There are a lot of varieties of data is there. It should be able to process all kind of data. Now, what is velocity? Out of these three B's, what is velocity? Velocity is the rate at which data arrives at the enterprise and is processed or well understood. Okay, you are having some data, but you are unable to process that data. Then I can say it is a big data, but having very high amount of velocity. Sorry, very low amount of velocity. Okay, so velocity is basically what? The rate at which data arrives at the enterprise, means how fast you are able to process the data. Your system is able to process the data. So if the data is coded, to decode the data, it may takes a lot of time. But if the data is simple, you can quickly process the data. Okay, but the term is velocity is associated with the speed. That is the speed at which you are able to process the data since its arrival. Okay. Now, similarly, in the velocities, it has given one example. You see, today it is possible using a real-time analytics to optimize buttons across both, to optimize like buttons across both websites and on Facebook. Now you see, many websites you visit, you will find this kind of icon. The moment you hit this, you are liking that page through your Facebook account, isn't it? You are liking that page through your Facebook account. So now what happens when whenever you click this button, your click event goes to the Facebook. Now the Facebook understand that you are liking the page, and based on your like, the Facebook will be able to send you advertisements related to your interest. So if you are interested to the news or bulletins related to the Sikkim, and if you like it, then next time you will get a lot of news related to the Sikkim. Okay, so now if you will like one movie review, the like button, then what will happen? You will get a lot of pop-ups related to the movies. So Facebook is monitoring your interest based on the button that you have clicked. Now I'll show you one example. This is basically the Department of Computer Application page. You see, I had one post over there. In this page, I have one post. Okay. Now, whenever I have created one website in Facebook, Department of Computer Applications I've created, and one advertisement I have created over there. Then based on the advertisement, you see, I'm able to know like how many people it has reached, how many people are engaged in some discussion. Okay. Now, if I click on this detailed advertisement, I will get how many people it has been reached, how many likes I have received, how many posts has been clicked. Okay. How many people have views my photos. Okay. How many people clicked the link. Okay. So now, out of this 5,550 peoples where my advertisement has been reached, out of these 81 has been liked. Okay. So now this, I understand that, okay, out of this reaching amount, only 81 people has been liked. Okay. So that means these 81 peoples probably in my friend list, or maybe in my well-wisher, or maybe some newcomer, maybe. Now out of this 81, 62 posts has been clicked, means they have shown interest in opening. Okay, so that means this 62 peoples or the students are the potential students, those who can take admission over here. I understood this thing. Out of this 62 post clicks, 28 is basically the post views, 6 clicks. So now these 6 are the pure, like the 100% chances that like these 6 students will take the admission over here. So now I will go to the more details, identify the details, and I can call it them. So now see how quickly I am able to take the decision on my advertisement. It is only possible because of this analytics software is being used by the Facebook. Because data is coming from varieties of resources. Okay. Data is coming from the varieties of resources. So I am able to understand like, okay, so these are the students I should be target. Instead of disturbing the all students, all parents across the globe, I will just focus on these 6-7 peoples to get it be converted, isn't it? So this is how the marketing strategy has been created. Also, if there is some negative feedback over here, then I understand that, okay, so we are having certain this kind of flaws, so we are having negative feedbacks. So it may downgrade the popularity. So instead, I can took this kind of measures or steps to avoid this kind of negativity. Okay, so as you can say provider, service provider, we will be able to understand like how it is happening, and this is all possible because of this Facebook analytics. So just like your Facebook analytics, so there are many other things are there, like the say for example, like your Facebook real-time social analytics, SAS real-time user tracking, Google real-time web analytics. There are a lot of websites are there that provides this kind of analytics. Remember one thing, whenever you are touching any web page and you are touched to the internet, right? So you are no more private. Your every activity, every button click has been captured by these websites, specifically the Google. Okay, so they need this information so that they can create the market strategy, the market trend, where the people will move, in which direction the people will move. They are deciding based on your clicks and interests. Okay, so this is basically one kind of analytics software. So data analytics, basically, as I said, like it is a software platform, okay, which is used to process the large volume of data, okay, large volume of data in order to come across a specific decision. So as I said over here, next, you know, understand what is velocity. Now, veracity. So what is veracity? Refers to the quality or the trustworthiness of the data. Quality and trustworthiness of the data. Now, so for example, you have decided to start a new product, manufacturing of a new product. Okay, or say suppose I will give one example. You have established one, say suppose a coaching institute. Okay, coaching institute. You have decided, okay, I am a graduate right now, so I should give coaching. Me and my 2-3 friends should give coaching to the 10-12 students for the, say suppose engineering coaching and as well as for the medical coaching. So I should open one coaching institute, said, and you have decided certain fees. Then what you have done? You have done also a market survey, and based on the market survey, you understand that like, okay, so now if I'll open the coaching center at this place, at this area, I will get much more class 10-12 students for the teaching and training. Okay, so then you have opened your coaching center, but you have opened your coaching center, but people doesn't know yet like whether your coaching center is opened or not. So what you will do? Either you have two options. Either you will wait for 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years to get it popular. Or what you will do, you will recruit one marketing executive, okay, and some kind of brochures and pamphlets. Okay, now this marketing executive will reach out to each and every people around the locality and distribute the banners and distribute the brochures to the different kind of like the stakeholders. Brochures distribution nearby at the nearby schools, nearby colleges, so that people will understand like quickly within 7 days or 10 days, people will know that like, okay, so there is a coaching center, so or there are a lot of good quality faculties are there, so we should send our student for the medical coaching or maybe the engineering coaching, right? So these are two approaches. Either is you will keep quiet and wait for the 2-3 years, 5 years, so get it popular, or you can take proactive step to recruit a marketing executive to reach out to the customer's place. So you have two approach. So as a proactive approach, so definitely we will go to the second option. You will recruit one marketing executive in, say suppose 10,000 or 15,000 salary. Then you have given some brochures to him and told him that like, okay, go and distribute everywhere. Okay, तो तुमने बोला कि लाइक इसको जाओ जितना भी कॉलेजेस, स्कूल्स, जितना पेरेंट्स, घर जितना भी है आसपास लोकेलिटी में, एवरीवेयर एंड स्टैंड नियर द बस स्टैंड, एवरीवेयर यू डिस्ट्रीब्यूट इट सो दैट माय सेंटर विल बी पॉपुलर. अब वो बंदा वहां से गया, वहां से लेकर सारा सामान लिया, रास्ते में कहीं पे फेंक दिया, फेंक के क्या क्या आराम से खाना वाना खा पी के शाम को आके पहुंच गया कि हाँ मैंने सब डिस्ट्रीब्यूट कर दिया, एवरीथिंग आई हैव डिस्ट्रीब्यूटेड. सो व्हाट विल हैपन एट द एंड ऑफ द मंथ, 7 days, you are in the illusion that like, okay, my institute is getting popular across the city, but nobody across the city knows about your institute. You are not getting good quality students. Okay, so now you should have some automated approach instead of, that is the reason this social marketing, social network marketing, this kind of marketing have comes up instead of physical marketing. You can rely on the technology, but you cannot rely on the human being. Right? So you are relying on the technology. Now you are relying on the technology, and that technology should have the trustworthy. अब मान लो कि like if you are depending on a technology which is malfunctioning, which is giving false result, can you trust that method or approach? No. That method has to be very much trustworthy, isn't it? So therefore it is said like the veracity refers to the quality or the trustworthiness of the data. So means your system, the data which it is gathering, it should be trustworthy or it should have quality data. Okay. If I will tell you to analyze how many students in SMIT has passed in the last year, how many students of SMIT has get placed in this company, how many students of the of SMIT has been placed in that company, say suppose in 2020. So now what is the trend in the last 5 years? Does the placement activity is being increased or it is consistent or it has been decreased? If I will tell you to identify, okay, and you can easily identify it out by taking some statistical data from the institute, from the office, so you can find it out. But if I will give you data like registration number, name, address, telephone number, okay, find out fail, this much, only this much I will give you, and I will tell you to identify what is the number of placements has been happened in 2000, say suppose 14 to 2021. Are you able to find it out? Yes. Anybody? Hello, am I audible to all of you?
Yes, sir.
So are you able to find it out? So I will give you some basic data. The data is like registration name, address, telephone number, okay, pin code, and the last fee paid, and the score of each examination. And you are asked to find out the placement activities in 2014 to 2021. So are you able to find it out? Yes or no?
No, sir.
Still cannot find it out. Still you can find it out. क्या करोगे? एक एक स्टूडेंट्स को फोन करोगे जो फोन नंबर दिया गया है, फोन करके पता करके भाई तुमको कौन से कंपनी में प्लेस हुआ था, इस कंपनी में हुआ था कि नहीं हुआ था। अब वो बोलेगा कि भाई क्यों मुझे ये फोन कर रहा है, हो सकता है वो झूठ भी बोले, है ना, क्यों बोलेगा कि मुझे प्लेस नहीं हुआ, वो बोलेगा कि हाँ भाई हुआ था। Okay, so ultimately you will find the way to calculate the number of placement activities happened in 2014 to 2021. But you will suffer two things. First thing, your velocity will be slower. You are getting the data, but processing takes a lot of time, because to process the data you need the exact information, placement information, so which is not there. So you are lacking what? Velocity, as well as you are lacking what? Veracity, because the data is not the quality data. But if directly in 2021 these students are placed, 2020 these students are placed, 2013 these students are placed in these companies, if this kind of data will get the quality data, then you are able to create the reports and comes across a decision. Okay, so that therefore the data you are getting, it should not have noise, it should be quality, it should be quality. Now these are the basically the key things for the big data platforms and its technology capabilities. You can just go through it, like what are the things you need to process and what are the things you should not process. So these are given over here. So these things we have already seen. Real time boom. Okay, now examples of analytics, just like your Twitter and your Facebook, we have seen, like the counting, how many requests per day, what's the average latency, how many sign-ups or SMSs or tweet service as comes up. Okay, then you are doing what? Correlating. Okay, correlating means what? This queries which comes from the user, does it for the desktop or it is for the mobile, or does it comes from the desktop or does it comes from the mobile? Like how many, in that way I will be able to understand like how many mobile users are there, how many system users are there. Okay, so this is basically what? The real time. This is near real time. Okay, what devices fail at the same time? what features get users hooked. Okay, now these are the bad states, like the researching, what features get retweeted, duplicate detection, sentiment analysis. Okay, what is sentiment analysis? Anybody of having any idea?
So
This is
like,
yes, yes,
so
yes,
like how the user is feeling, on what mood he or she will be, like emotions.
exactly, exactly. To understand the user mode, to understand the user mode. Why this sentiment analysis is required? Because this will gives a huge selling point to your product. So now if a company is, if say suppose a producer is releasing a movie, but if the nation's mood is something different, so at this point releasing that movie is not suitable. Okay, so for example, in a few years before, three Khans are there. Your Salman Khan, and who other is there? Shah Rukh Khan, and third one is the Amir Khan. Okay, so when they used to release their movies, what they used to do, they used to understand the market. What is the mood is there at the right at this time? Whether people is much more focusing on the Salman Khan movies, or whether the people is focusing more on the Shah Rukh Khan movies. Okay, so now if the people is more focusing on the Shah Rukh Khan movies, then at this time we should release this movie. So these kind of things, the market trends, understanding the markets, that is basically what possible through sentiment analysis, understanding the market. Okay. Now, what are the skills required? So these are basically the skills required. Like you should be able to store and process, analyze and the model, okay, understand and design. So these are the basically skills which are required for the what? Data analytics. You should have a domain expertise. You should have proper research you should have conducted, statistical data mining, okay, data science is also required, analytics systems, various algorithms, programming skills. These all required, then only you can analyze a data effectively, a set of data effectively. If out of these, if something is missing, okay, if something is missing, then you cannot analyze that data effectively and properly. Okay, those who are able to understand, those who are able to understand the sentiment of the people, okay, sentiment of the people for watching a movie, for watching a movie, those who are able to analyze, I am talking about the expertise, the person who is expert in analyzing the user's mode for a movie, those expertise person may not analyze the data related to an election to understand the mood of the to the customers users, because then they at that time there are varieties of user bases, user groups, like the color, ethnicity, religion, many things will comes up at that time. So those who are very good in analyzing the data of a movie, or the probability of a movie that is going to be take the market in upcoming days, those expertise persons may not handle the election data effectively, because their domain expertise is in watching the movie, like the understanding the market of the movie, not the election result. So they are having some different, the election like the result, they are having different kinds of exit polls, different kinds of marketing survey strategies, their expertise is something different. So therefore domain expertise is also required, is the first thing it is required. Then that domain expertise person should have conducted certain kind of research, okay, then it will use certain kind of algorithms, fetches some results, then it should do certain kind of statistical data mining, and he or the she, the person should have a very good strong programming skill or programming team to work upon, and finally it will come across a decision. A lot of things are happened in nearby. Okay, anyway, so these are basically what the skills required for the big data analytics. and what is the big analytics is basically required, and why analytics is required, and what are the different things that encompasses this analytics procedures that we have seen. And in the next class, then what we will see basically solutions for big data analytics. I'm not speeding up your syllabus because we have a lot of time to cover the syllabus, so I'm covering it up very slowly. Okay. So in the next class, we'll discuss what? Solutions for big data analytics. Now, let me take the attendance. Okay, those who are absent in the class, see, I'm not going to give the attendance. At least they should present, because this is the clear instruction comes from the management, not to provide attendance if someone is frequently absenting. 1 day, 2 day, or half day, it is okay. But if someone is frequently absent in the class for almost all time, then at the end, please do not come to me for the attendance. Okay. All of you can exit right now.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.